during the Biden campaign, he claimed that he would fight for the middle-class Americans, but obviously that's not happening.
It's time to rebuild the backbone of this country, the middle class, and this time bring everybody along. I see the world from Scranton. I see the world from working-class towns. I'm running as a proud Democrat, but I will govern as an American president.
You know, reports, though, indicate that the executive orders Joe may sign his first days in office show just how little he cared about the people who voted for him. And that's the sad part. And he wants to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord on top of it, scrap the Keystone XL pipeline, and he's signaling to Iran that he'll re-enter the disastrous nuclear deal even as they throw a U.S. businessman in jail. Joining me now to talk about this is New York Congressman Lee Zeldin. Congressman, good to have you here tonight. Now, Biden is really making clear his disdain for America first, is he not?
You see it with the Keystone XL pipeline project. This is something that doesn't just kill tens of thousands of jobs. It harms our efforts to be energy independent. There's the national security concern where we have to rely on other countries that don't like us, that we view as adversaries, in order to pursue this resource. The Paris climate deal, one of the issues was that nations like China didn't have to make big concessions in order to enter the deal. Put aside the fact that this is a treaty that was never presented to the Senate for the ratification. And of course, as you mentioned, the Iran nuclear deal, Iran being the world's largest state sponsor of terror, and a Joe Biden administration is looking to trip over itself to re-enter the deal as is, despite all the practical ramifications of the fact that this deal is almost done anyway with the sunset provisions. So a lot of national security concerns with countries that I view as our adversaries.
Okay, and you know what, Congressman, here are more of Biden's proposal for his first 100 days. Rejoin the World Health Organization, organize a climate world summit, repeal the 2017 tax cuts, repeal liability protection for gun manufacturers. Congressman, I ask again, how is this going to make Americans' lives any better?
Yeah, these were campaign promises that unfortunately didn't get appropriately vetted out during the campaign. When you were talking about when he and his campaign were discussing the idea of reversing the 2017 tax cuts, well, what does that mean exactly? Reverse all of it, or you only plan on reversing part of it? And as they were getting called out on the fact that ultimately that would mean a lot of people would end up with a tax increase, then they tried to wordsmith their answers as they were getting called out on it. But you know what? Joe Biden basically every morning would get away with calling a lid on his day at 7 or 8 a.m. The media was really in the tank for him. So they were okay with the fact that they weren't able to ask the tough questions and weren't the accountability because they wanted to get Donald Trump out of office. The first example you gave, the World Health Organization, this time last year, the World Health Organization was lying to the United States and the rest of the world about what was going on with coronavirus. They were lying that there was no evidence whatsoever of human-to-human transmission, parroting CCP talking points. So as you go down that list, starting at the beginning with the Keystone XL pipeline, Paris climate deal, Iran nuclear deal, World Health Organization, to the other examples that you gave, he might have gotten himself elected to this presidency. He might be taking the oath on Wednesday, but this is going to result in harm to our economy, to job growth, to national security, energy independence, and far more. Now is a time for even those in the media who helped him get into this position, for them to start asking tough questions too, because a lot of people are going to get hurt and our country's going to get hurt.
Well, clearly, and, you know, the more he preaches unity, the top Democrats are sending a decidedly different message. And that's a sad commentary on where we are right now. Thank you very much, Congressman Lee Zeldin.